All right, I think this is good.
It's good?
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, my name is Omi. I would say I'm I guess, surreal artist. And what was the third
I don't know.
Huh?
I just said, I guess your name and like what you feel like your title is.
I really don't know like my title, but I would just say, I would say maybe the best way to describe it is just like mixed media artist, because there's so much stuff you feel me that I work with, like stuff that I work, like stuff like this. It's like a 3D model, you know what I mean? Paint, sculpting, just different stuff. Digital, all around just artist, creative.
Are you formally trained?
No, no, and yes, I would say, because I never went to art school, but I grew up in in a household where art was just everywhere because my father's an abstract artist. So, but my art is nowhere near his. So, no, and yes, kind of.
What kind of art does your father do?
Abstract,
Like
big abstract pieces.
So like similar to yours, like murals?
Yeah, but similar, but totally different too. Cause they're just like there's no faces in it, you know. What you see is just your perspective. Mine's is like I'm really trying to show you something, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to show you like that's Dennis Rodman, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. His stuff is more just like it's your perspective. It's just colors. And that's really what I learned from him is colors, you know what I mean?
I feel like that you talk a lot about emotion and growing and pain on your Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel that those emotions tie into your artwork?
I don't know. That's really just how I feel a lot of the times. So that's what I paint. You know what I mean? But it's also I'm just trying to tell people it's okay to feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't tell other people like it's okay to be sad and stuff sometimes. So that's kind of what I try to translate into art.
I want to ask you about the Virgil mural.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been a kind of like iconic thing for your career, and like making that for also another iconic artist.
Yeah, it was cool. That's definitely like one of my bigger pieces that people recognize right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's definitely like one of my bigger pieces that people know.
Are you really proud of that piece?
Yeah, for sure. I actually just did it again. I did it a second time because it was for Snot and they wanted to take it on tour, but I didn't. I couldn't get them the original because it was at Liam's. But I'll show you.
Also, did you do like the little 3D people coming out of the window?
Nah, that was VFX for the.
Oh, okay, because I know that you like posted on your Instagram like you did like a thing.
Yeah, so I did do a 3D version of Snot, but that was like for wheat pacing in different cities and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the second one.
Oh,
that's the second version. I don't know. It might look better than the first one.
You did such a good job.
Yeah, but this one has fake windows. The original one had real windows. This one got fake windows.
Wow.
Just because I had to do it like in time for them to take it on tour and stuff.
What are some really important takeaways that you've learned working on like bigger sets and with like well-known creatives?
You gotta work as fast as possible. So you just gotta learn how to execute whatever you're doing like as fast as possible. So like whatever you can use, like stuff like projectors, just to make your job easier, especially on sets where there's like the virtual piece. I did that probably in like 6 hours while everybody was on set. Like they were shooting over here. I'm working on the virtual piece, trying to finish it so they could come shoot in front of it. So it's really just like a time thing. You really gotta be fast with it.
I actually was not thinking that you were going to say that.
Yeah, I did. I did that probably like 6 hours,
That's
maybe
crazy.
less. I don't know.
Is it nerve-wracking to like have someone, I don't know like how much you've been around like Rocky and stuff, but is it nerve-wracking to have like a piece that you're doing for such a
I mean,
crazy video?
somewhat, yeah, but I feel like I've done it enough times already where it's like, all right, cool, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I let like you know, they gave me criticism on this stuff like while I'm doing it. I mean, everybody definitely is like, yo, that looks crazy. You know what I mean? But some people are like, yo, you can add this, you can add this. So that was cool too. I love interacting with people while I'm painting, or just like people throwing me ideas and stuff.
Do you like being collaborative?
Yeah, I think
'Cause I feel like it
that's
has to
kind
be
of,
hard to kind of like give up control
yeah, but
sometimes.
I feel like that's more kind of like my thing, cause um, a lot of the stuff I've done have been collabs with people, um, and it just collabs are just like an ego killer. So it's a good way to like get to know yourself better. It's just like an ego killer, cause it's like you draw something crazy, and then you know, somebody else does this, and then you know you going back and forth, and you might go over their stuff, they might go over your stuff, but it's just like, you know, at the end it just really comes together. You really, and you got to kill your ego to make it to the end, to really see the final product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
feel.
if you just get mad in the middle, like fuck, why, you know what I mean? Like you arguing with the person you collaborate with, it's never gonna work.
What are some of your biggest creative inspirations?
That's a hard one. Cause I mean it changes every day, but I would definitely say somebody like Dali, um, maybe like Kusama, people like that just like take it to the next level. You know what I mean? Definitely abstract artists. Even though my stuff is like more realistic, I'm definitely more inspired by like abstract stuff, because it just like there's no rules to it, you know what I mean? And that's how I want my stuff to be, because my stuff is more technical, but I always try to push the limits with like adding dimensions to it, like trying to break the barrier of rules on my pieces.
Are you into like film, or did you grow up with certain TV shows that really influenced your style?
Probably Nickelodeon, probably stuff like that. You know, like childhood cartoons. Those definitely influence my stuff. I do a lot of cartoons, like the Care Bear and stuff like that. Just like all those colorful shows from back in the day, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I don't really think of that. That's all subconscious stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard for me to like just really go in there and like, oh, what influences me. But yeah, it's more so like the people around me, and more like my father and stuff. You know, like definitely these guys in the room. They inspired me to like change my styles, or like push the limits on stuff. You know what I mean? Because their styles are so different than mine.
Yeah, like what has there been something specifically that after you started working with like these new guys that you
It really,
changed?
uh, somewhat, but it's more just watching them work, and watching the way they make stuff, and you know, definitely with pieces like stuff like this. Like, you know, like Humane did this. He got his own style where he does like these dots and stuff. So just
Yeah.
watching like people do stuff like that like inspires me. Like people coming up with their own styles. You know what I mean? In this space, is definitely like inspiring.
Were you always into fine arts?
Nah. I really kind of just got into this, but I grew up around art my whole life. So, but I really started taking art seriously maybe like a year or two ago.
Did you start off painting, or did you start off digitally?
Nah, I definitely started uh, like painting, because you know, like as a kid I was just painting, you know, painting while my dad paints beside him with with a paintbrush and stuff. But I always painted, but never took it seriously. Like I never just thought like, oh, I could sell this canvas. I would just do it for fun in my room because that's how I grew up.
Yeah, at what point in your life did you actually realize that you could make a living?
Now, it's like just happening right now.
How did that happen though? Like what was that transitional period between like you just doing stuff for fun and then you actually like what was your first job?
Like first, what do you mean first job?
Like your first like commissioned like work.
I would say probably putting stuff on clothes. Putting stuff on clothes and selling it, and people liking the art so much that it, are like, oh, I put this on the canvas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where did you grow up? I know you said you grew up in New York. Did you grow up in the city?
Well, I grew up back and forth. So, my father lived here in the city, and my mother lived upstate in Rochester, which is close to Buffalo. So, I just grew up back and forth, spending some time with my mother, spending some time with my father, just back and forth.
How did you meet Kaiser?
I met Kaiser through Stevie.
Okay, because I know that you guys were like really good buds.
Yeah, that's my dog. But Kaiser, yeah, he really showed me a lot of stuff too. He was one of the first people I started working with that kind of just changed my whole perception and kind of like style a little bit, because he's just doing something completely different. You know what I mean? That I don't think anybody has seen before. So.
Did you have growing up friends that were interested in like the same types of things, or were you always kind of on a different wave?
Yeah, it was kind of almost like I was always on my own with the creative stuff till I got older and started meeting people like this that's in the room right now. You know what I mean?
That's sick.
Oh, there's a wire on it, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long have you been like fucking with making like digital art? Because that takes forever.
I just learned this though. Like this 3D program, I kind of just learned this when we started working with Snot. So I really just I learned it to do to make like the Snot posters. Cause I didn't. We were gonna draw it in 10 different ways, and I just figured like it would be way easier if I knew how to 3D model and just position this in 10 different ways. You know what I mean? And I just learned it like in a week, to be honest.
Wow. But like you've been working on digital art for a while though.
Yeah.
Like besides this, not this, but.
Yeah, this is a Basquiat that I did.
I love some Basquiat.
Yeah, it's a Basquiat.
It's my favorite.
And then the Care Bear. This is where I made the Care Bear. That's kind of how it looks on that thing, but.
That's sick. Is he like dropping acid?
Yeah.
Do you drop acid?
It's funny because everybody asks me that, and I've never done acid, but it's more like the whole thing about the Care Bear stuff is like it's just like take care and enjoy your trip. Like that's the whole meaning behind it. But it's just like mad different metaphors to that I mean. You know what I mean? But I just use the acid to show it. But it's just like whatever you're doing, just take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What does shut the fuck up mean?
It's just like just do whatever you gotta do, get to it, get wherever you're going. Just shut up and do it, you know what I mean?
That's kind of what I interpreted it. I was gonna ask you if it means like, is that to like your voice inside your head to kind of like shut the fuck up and do it?
Kind of. But it was.
Or do you truly just get annoyed by other people that are talking too much?
Nah, it's not that. I actually like talking to people, but it's just more like, just get to it. Like, I feel like the biggest thing artists have is like procrastination, or just sitting on pieces, and just like, oh, it's not perfect enough, it's not good enough yet, I have to keep going. and that's what fucks them up. So
How do you feel about that, like the artist trope of like having to be inebriated or fucked up to like do your best art?
I think that's somewhat true, but I feel like it just gets the best emotions out of you. And what artists really have to do, the way you make the best art is you translating emotion onto the canvas. So whenever you fucked up or whatever it is, you translate it the best when you're high, maybe.
I
For
feel
me,
that.
it works like for me it works like that.
I feel that whenever like I've been high before, like sometimes like concepts, like worldly concepts, will be like, damn,
Yeah,
that's
everything
just
makes
like
more
what it's
sense too.
supposed to be.
Yeah, this is a piece I was trying to work on too. Actually, I want to make this into a chain, but
Oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can do so much with like your 3D models and stuff like
Mhm.
that as far as like making accessories or something
Yeah,
or going into that.
especially with the printer too. Like, like projects, you could see like the Snot one was like really the first one. The first one I did was my boy Humane's hat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did his hat on here, but this is like it's like really like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I could do it way better now, but I
Yeah.
was just testing it out, and then I really went and started making a Care Bear. Like this was the first one, and he just looks mad awkward. Like his fucking
He
arms
still
is
looks
mad.
cute
Yeah,
though.
his arms is mad long. And then I started like just like really watching like YouTube videos and like really researching and shit. And
So
I
you
just
never like did classic art classes?
no. Mm-mm.
That's crazy. Like how did you learn how to do proportions and stuff?
My proportions are off OD. So it's this thing I do. It's a grid. Um, yeah, it's this grid I use. I don't want to tell too much because I don't want to give people like my sauce and stuff.
Don't.
But yeah. It's my proportions are terrible. Like that one outside, the Cyclops.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of like just like freehanded, and you can kind of tell the proportions on there are terrible.
It's crazy. I started like trying to get more serious about my art. And so I've been like studying proportions because I mainly just do faces and like women and like women's bodies and stuff. And then when I started like learning more about proportions, I was like realized how fucked up my shit was before.
Yeah, my proportions
It's
are terrible.
crazy like how much of a difference it can make. Especially when you like learn anatomy and stuff. That's the craziest. I want to like learn all the body parts and shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like sometimes I freehand, and like for other people, it looks good, but like for me, I'm just like, damn, look at how that fucking leg or that arm looks like. That shit look crazy.
Yeah.
Like it takes me a long time if I'm doing freehand to get the proportions right. So like when I'm working like on a set or collabing with somebody or anything like that, I definitely like use my other method where I know I'm gonna get the proportions perfect. Because I don't want to, especially collabing with people, you don't want to be just there all day. You know what I mean? So I do it in a few hours and get out of it.
That's crazy. How did you like know? Have you even gotten to the point where you feel comfortable as an artist, like that you have a really good skill set? Or are you still like insecure sometimes?
I think it's both. Sometimes you feel really good about a piece, and then sometimes you do another piece and maybe you feel like people don't like it as much, or I feel like as an artist, if you're just confident all the time and you feel good about your art all the time, it's never gonna work because you're never gonna grow. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you definitely have to have that insecurity all the time. Like,
Did you ever have
insecurity.
haters?
Huh?
Did you ever have haters?
Maybe, I don't know. I'll be paying attention to that.
Like ever in your life? To be like, you suck.
I don't know. I'll be paying attention to that.
Yeah, I feel that. Do you not like, you don't watch anything or like
I
read
be on the
comments?
internet.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
about.
I mean, people probably have said stuff, but I've never seen a comment like, "Yo, this sucks." I've never seen that.
I feel like people do say that stuff. Not
Yeah.
about you. I just mean like
Yeah.
about like stuff that's
People
actually
definitely
fire,
do, yeah.
and then people
But I
are
feel
just
like my
like, this
stuff
sucks.
maybe is not like big enough yet. You know what I mean? When I get to that place,
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna be crazy.
I think it is to like a certain demographic though.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not even like you're actually not a hitter if you are too big. Sometimes. It's like all the underground like niches that actually like set all the trends and are responsible for so much in art. And it sucks because they don't get like paid. Like they should get paid.
Sure. I mean, you just gotta keep going.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And thanks for letting me come into your space today.
For sure.